I get hit up all the time about what's up with Section 8. I saw this Section 8 influencer. I know exactly his face. I can't think of his name.
I got a story for that too, but we'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all he's talking about is the cash on cash return is crazy and the income is backed by the government. Get into Section 8. Is Section 8 really good? Like what is the reality for a Section 8 investor?
Well, number one, you have to fix up the property according to Section 8 standards. So usually our typical investors' turnkey standards may not be good enough for Section 8's condition of the property. So maybe the windows have to be a certain type of way, or
Like double pane, energy efficient, stuff like that.
yeah, and they have their inspectors going back and forth. You're like, damn, man, if I could have just did a traditional rental, I would have had this rented out. But you want to go to Section 8 route because you want that guaranteed money. And that's why I think most people do Section 8, because the government's paying the rent for the most part.
Okay, so more capital expenditures.
More capital expenditures. But the downside is you more than likely that Section 8 tenant is going to have kids.
Plural.
Kids.
He emphasizes
Multiple.
Kids. And those
More than
kids are effing up the property per second. And whether it's you that's getting the call or your property management getting the call, you're going to get the leaky toilet call constantly. And they know they can call. They're like, I'm probably paying $100 a month extra on top of what the government's paying. I don't care. So they're messing up the property more.
So give me an example, like a 2-bedroom house or
Yeah.
unit. How many people are occupying it?
Well, my last Section 8 tenant was supposed to be her and her 3 kids, but it ended up being her boyfriend, which was Pusha T's brother.
Pusha T's brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Stop, bro.
Say the name again.
Pusha T?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, good Lord. Pray
Sorry,
for Michael, everybody.
we can go after this afterwards. Go on.
No, not Malice's brother.
Oh.
Which is still close to,
Okay.
still part of the clan.
Yep.
Malice's brother.
Yep.
I had to take it back. Malice's. I just didn't think it's been, yeah.
They're actually two of like what I think are like the smoothest rappers ever. Like yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the top hip hop groups. Yeah. But anyway.
I exited the game after Warren G and Nate Dogg and Snoop and Drake
Michael,
did their thing.
We're
Okay,
bleeding
90s.
followers.
I'm the 90s hip hop guy.
Mike, the
You're
followers
80s
are
baby?
leaving.
80s baby?
Huh?
80s
I'm an 80s baby.
Same. We're all 80s baby. Yeah.
Michael.
Okay, so go on. So
Yeah.
supposed to be a mom and 3 kids.
So on paper, on paper, it's supposed to, with Section 8, they've got to technically go by the rules. It's going to be me, my 3 kids. Not me, my 3 kids, and boyfriend and uncle, whatever the case may be. If they find out, then you're losing your Section 8 voucher.
Okay.
I could have did that. So it was many times she's calling me, I need you to kick his ass out, blah, blah, blah. Like, and they're arguing on the phone, and I'm like, okay, like I can't do this. I can't do it. And she'll call me, and she broke the toilet, and they're fighting, and I couldn't deal with it, man. I was like, I don't know if I like this rich dad, poor dad, build wealth, get some rentals, play domino effect. And then I met my mentor in 2012. He was like, hey, I come from this. I've been in the game since 2003, 2004. I got my shit handed to me. I'm not doing any more rentals. This is the strategy I'm doing, which basically we call it slow flips. So we basically, instead of renting out the property, we buy them, we sell them on a land contract. So that takes me completely out of the repair issue and not dealing with tenants. So I'm basically playing the bank by buying properties just on acquisition, selling them on a 30-year land contract, which I still control the deed to the property. They never get the deed, but they do the repairs. They can't call me for any leaky toilet call. They just pay me my monthly payment every month, which increases my ROI because I'm not doing any repairs.
So that's how you drive the return beyond.
Literally,
market
I'm
standard.
doing no repairs. Mike and Mike.
Yeah.
Life with Mike.
Yeah.
But so I buy a 50K property. It needs TLC. It definitely needs TLC. Is it tear down? No. Is it livable? Yes, it just needs TLC. So I buy a 50K property, sell it on a land contract for just say $130, $140.
Wait. Take a step back.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
walk me through, like, okay, your purchase price is going to land somewhere between 50 or 60.
Yep.
How much are you putting into the deal before you try to sell the contract?
Zero. I
Zero.
just buy it on acquisition. Literally, when I say no repairs, Mike, no repairs.
Okay,
So it needs TLC, but you're not doing it.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Okay, so
this
then
changed the
See, I understand the TLC reference because I'm a 90s hip hop guy.
Yeah, this. This changed the whole dynamic of my buy and hold strategy and just how I look at real estate, because we get into real estate to be stress free. At the end of the day, that's the end goal, to be stress free. I don't know too many buy and hold landlords that are stress free.
Right.
I'm just being real, and I know a lot of them. You probably do too.
I'm not stress free.
No. Yeah.
My stress comes from him.
I'm gonna tell you where my stress comes from. The content. I'm being. This is where the most stress comes from.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can I scale this? I need a robot, man.
Yeah.
Like, AI is coming out, but I'm like, this is hard, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you buy the property.
That's
at
another topic for
50-60.
That's another topic for another day.
It needs TLC, but you're not investing the capital to get there, and then you're immediately turning it and putting it out there for a land.
On a land contract.
Walk us through that.
So I buy a property. I have a closing next week on a property. So I'm buying this property for $45K, right? Never seen it ever in my life. It's in Missouri. I do have a boots on the ground guy there. Or a few people that they'll take pictures, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, say, hey, this is a bad property, good property, whatever.
What are they basing that on?
Structural, electrical, make sure that those parts are good.
Okay.
I'm buying it for $45K. The minute I buy it, I close on it next Wednesday. The minute I close on it, it's literally going out for owner financing for owner occupant, where they're going to come in. We'll market it for, say, like 120, right? 30-year financing, $3K down. That's the only skin in the game they're going to have is $3K down. So they come in, they say, okay, they walk the property, they give me $3K non-refundable down that they'll never get back. It's their property. They're going to move into the property. They're going to do the carpet paint, do all the cosmetic stuff where a normal landlord would do, but they're acting as the owner of the property. The terms is going to be on something called a land contract, or some people call it an agreement for deed or a bond agreement, right? And I like that contract because I still hold the deed to the property, and the deed is still in my name at the title. On public record.
So the deed is still on your name. You're not a lien holder on the deed that's in the buyer's name.
No.
So I'm the buyer of this $45,000 property. I give you $3,000.
Well, no, you bought the property for $45,000 cash or private money. Just say cash, right?
Okay.
Instead of you renting the property out or marketing it for a lease, you market the property owner financing 120, only $3K down.
Right. So I bought it. Now you come and you want to take the property. So you give me $3,000 down payment.
Down payment, no.
And now $42,000 I'm your lender on.
Literally, you're basically the bank to me.
But the deed doesn't transfer to you.
Until I pay it off in full in 30 years or pay the lump sum of the balance.
And what rate am I lending you the money at?
Average, we're 12 to 14%.
Woo.
Okay, so why?
Yeah.
Because the people that are getting in don't have the down payment, so they're willing to pay the high interest to get in.
So they're
Like, what's the value prop for the user? I guess.
Great question. For one, they can't go to a bank to get a loan traditionally.
So they can't qualify for a loan.
And sometimes you'd be surprised. It's not just about credit. Yes, it could be credit. Some of these people haven't done their taxes in 2 or 3 years, but they got $100,000 in the bank. We get entrepreneurs. We get obviously people like families that have bad credit. But back to that Section 8 guy, we're getting a lot of his students. They're buying.
What's the guy's name?
I forgot his name, but they hit my marketing.
Who's the Section 8 guy? You know it. Tommy doesn't know it.
Mikey,
you know what I'm talking about.
Our last like 6 or 10 properties, slow flips, is these students. They're buying them, and we're like, whoa, like it's a win-win. But I'm like, wow, so they live in New York. They're buying this property, just say in Ohio, where one of my markets is. But it's like they'll hire a contractor virtually to fix up their property for them, and they're okay with the $300 spread. So I might buy it for $50. They may be paying me $1,000 a month on my $50K investment. We sell it to them for $100K, and they do their fixing ups and whatever the case may be, and may get $1,300 a month.
So what's the sale price that I'm selling you the house at?
120.
I'm selling you the house at 120. You're giving me $3,000 down.
Yep.
So you're actually financing $117,000.
Literally.
Yeah, but you're only 45 in, and you're less than that because you financed it.
Yeah.
And then you're lending it at, let's say, just 10%, right?
Well, the interest rate is between 12 and 14%.
Oh, okay. At 12
average.
or 14%.
On
So that's how
average.
you're getting those.
That's how he gets up to
returns.
30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but wait a second. Your margin now is your equity piece is very small in the property. Because you really only have 97% or so margin.
Correct. So now we go into that appreciation part. So there's Very
These
low
homes don't appreciate.
They're straight cash flow heavy.
Yeah.
Straight cash flow heavy.
So what happens if you have non-payment? You foreclose?
I love that question. Yeah, we don't foreclose. That's why I like the land contract or the agreement for deed. We can evict them like a tenant and get them out in 3 months.
Okay.
And within 3 months, we rinse and repeat. I have a marketing team that markets these properties on HotPads, Zillow, Marketplace.
But do you have capital expenditures at that juncture? Because that's usually where people will destroy the home.
These people, it was their home. They more than likely fixed up the house. So I get a better product than where I originally brought it at. I'm telling you, I try to pick this model apart. The only thing I can pick apart is the appreciation with this model. Other than that,
Yeah, but 30% cash on cash secures with appreciation.
yeah, I mean, that's hard to find.
I'm saying it.
Yeah,
I'm not a cash flow guy. 30% a year.
He's like, that
Who
sounds.
cares about the appreciation, boys? You got your money back in 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah,
But,
Yep.
okay, this is so fascinating.
yeah.
Where do you find tenants that want to do this? You just mentioned some of them. Zillow,
HotPads,
HotPad. So you market it.
Marketplace.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, it is so many people interested in these properties on the owner financing side. Sometimes people get pissed. Like you might have 3, 4, 5 different people on the property seeing it. They're like, I want it. Okay, and they're like, well, hey, we got 3 other people interested. Oh well, I'll do 4K down. Can you take my offer? Like it's so much demand for this type of product.
Okay, so
More
let me
so
ask.
than you think.
Let me ask you this because this might not be accurate, but what we typically see is when you find something that has a crazy return, like 30% cash on cash, nuts, right? It's typically hard to scale, right? So where, if you're looking at 30% cash on cash for where you're at, and then you stretch that all the way to the other side of like the institutional investor, right? They're trying to pick off like 6% because they're trying to get like $400 or $500 million out the door like that. So my question is, how hard is it to scale this thing? Like, how could you get $50 million out the door per year on this strategy? Is that hard?
Well, if you're talking $50 million on a 50K property on average, how many
right?
properties is that?
For Michael, he's my numbers guy. I don't know.
I was sorry. I was running the math on his situation in my mind, so I wasn't paying attention.
Well,
Say that again.
let me ask this: instead of $50 million, how much?
I might have a new vertical for us to talk about after this podcast.
No, but the problem is going to be this, and this is why I don't think we're going to have a vertical.
Scalability?
Yes. So anyone listening to it is going to go, this sounds awesome. Okay?
It is.
Yeah. And I'm not saying to say it's not.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. For us, like what we do is like we're building a business around, allowing investors to come into the project we're doing. And you need some type of scale for this model to make sense. We're not going to go raise $1 million to go build out a new vertical. You have to get to a point where you're doing
Yeah, you got to play bigger numbers.
$20 to $50 million a year for something to make sense.
Yeah, and there's finite amount of assets out there. Is that what you're getting at?
No, it's just like, dude, how many $50,000?
Yeah,
But
it's limited.
For more layman's terms, how much cash flow does it take for an average investor to make $100,000 a month net?
How much? Say that again.
How much capital does it take for an average investor to make $100,000 net?
Depends on the percentage, right?
Yeah,
like
it does.
If you're in multifamily,
Like an average is what,
right,
5
you're
or
over
6
$1 million
cap.
bucks. You're probably $1 million.
I mean, just say if like you're trying to get $100,000 a year. I know you're saying a month, but let's just say a year.
Yeah, 10%.
10% on $1 million investment, right?
Yeah, but on multifamily, for at least like the Class A stuff that we want to build wealth at, you're not at a 10% cash on cash return at the beginning.
No.
Right? You're at like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
If you like this video and want to watch the full episode, click here. Or if you want to watch more videos like this, click here.